Every dawn sounds the starting gun for a race with death. Life is paid for in blood. Only the fittest have the right to see the sunset. There is no room for mercy here. The death of the weak is the beginning of survival for countless others. Welcome to wild Tanzania, where life defies the predators. In the dry season, life seems to slow, but beneath the surface is a relentless struggle. Herds of wildebeest and zebra migrate across the plains in search of water and fresh grass, creating colossal marches for survival. Meanwhile, apex predators like lions must travel up to 12 miles a day in search of increasingly scarce prey. Predators such as hyenas and cheetahs not only hunt but also regulate herbivore populations, preventing overgrazing and maintaining the grasslands. Scavengers like vultures perform essential cleanup duties, disposing of carcasses to prevent the spread of disease. These two nomads were once inseparable, comrades in life and death. Together, they weathered countless storms to reach this promised land. But the law of nature is inherently indifferent. Before them lies an unclaimed kingdom. And the throne calls to only one. The unquenchable thirst for power has consumed their bond of blood. Neither is willing to yield. And so, youthful vigor erupts into a brutal, bloody conflict. A war that demands the ultimate price. Either fall and become a feast for others, or tread upon the blood of a sworn brother to ascend with pride as the new king. Whether on the barren savannah or in the civilized world, the law of kingship always carries the same cost. It is easy to weather the storms of survival together, but to yield a place at the pinnacle is an impossible demand. This is merely the opening chapter of an endless war on this vast savannah. A 6-foot neck extends, gently stripping young leaves from a thorny acacia branch. It is the northern giraffe, an emblem of elegance on the Serengeti plains. This advantage in height is not just a physical trait, but the result of an incredible evolutionary journey spanning over 7 million years. In the harsh savanna environment, the ability to access a food source no other can reach has allowed them to endure the test of time. Their iconic long neck is not the result of an increased number of vertebrae. The latest data indicates that the global population of northern giraffes has fallen to around 35,000 individuals. During the dry season, when water is scarce and ground-level forage dwindles, the acacia tree becomes a lifeline. With incredible stamina, a northern giraffe can consume over 75 pounds of leaves per day. They are an embodiment of patience, adaptability, and resilience, qualities that both the savanna and humanity should emulate. The Serengeti ground is as hard as rock, but that does not deter the warthog. With its powerful snout and long tusks, it digs with diligence. In the dry season, when surface water has vanished, this act is not just to find moisture-rich tubers for itself, but also inadvertently creates small water holes, a lifeline for many other creatures. Though often seen as uncouth, warthogs exhibit highly organized behavior. They live in small family groups known as sounders. They can flee at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour, their tails held erect like signal flags of alarm. However, when escape is not an option, their 4 sturdy legs and sharp tusks are formidable weapons. In the life cycle of the savanna, warthogs act as diligent farmers. With every excavation, they aerate the compacted soil. Seeds from their meals are scattered across the plains, promoting the regeneration of plant life. Amid the arid grasslands of the Serengeti, where the cracked earth resembles ancient skin scorched by an unforgiving sun, the impala stands poised, elegant and serene. These artists of survival dance across the plains with unmatched speed and graceful agility, embodying a perfect balance of power and beauty. A slight rustle in the grass is enough to startle an entire herd of impala. In a flash, they become a flowing river of tawny brown. When danger is near, they can accelerate to 50 miles per hour, interspersed with artistic leaps. This is not just a way to clear obstacles, but a sophisticated tactic to confuse a lurking predator. The dry season is their greatest test. When the grass withers and water becomes scarcer than gold, impala switch to a diet of leaves and shrubs. Their herding behavior is another testament to their survival strategy. Large groups, often up to 100 individuals, offer safety in numbers and an early warning against danger. However, the life of an impala is not just about hiding. They are vital links in the Serengeti ecosystem. Amid the golden, withered plains of the Serengeti, where the dry season's heat drapes the earth like a fiery cloak, the cheetah moves with a gentle grace. It seeks no fanfare. Every step, from its fluid movements to its sharp gaze, exudes the refined precision of a master predator. With their keen eyesight, they can spot prey from a distance of 1.2 miles. They conserve energy, stalking rather than chasing in the relentless heat. Their preferred targets include agile animals such as gazelles, impala, and young wildebeest. Amid the oppressive heat of the Serengeti dry season, ancient granite outcrops, known as kopjes, rise from the vast grasslands like fortresses of time. This is the realm of the leopard. A stealthy predator renowned for its patience and extraordinary precision. The leopard's evolutionary journey dates back over 2 million years, as its ancestors adapted to thrive in diverse habitats. Weighing between 88 to 150 pounds on average, a leopard can haul prey heavier than its own body weight high into a tree. However, the leopard's silent existence is not without threats. The IUCN has recently warned that they are classified as vulnerable. Amid the harsh Serengeti dry season, where hot winds carry dust across the sun-scorched grasslands, the male lion assumes the role of the dominant king. These rulers have no physical throne, but their reign is maintained not just through physical strength, but through strategy and unity. With over 1.5 million years of evolution, the lion has become one of the most organized predators on the planet. Unlike other big cats that are solitary hunters, lions live in prides, a complex social structure that increases their chances of survival. A pride typically consists of 5 to more than 10 individuals, where the lionesses take on the primary hunting roles. Constant stalkers seek to steal their hard-earned meals, forcing the lions to defend both their prey and their pride. The lion's role in the Serengeti ecosystem extends beyond being a top predator. They regulate herbivore populations, preventing overgrazing that could degrade the vegetation. In the Serengeti dry season, herds of African buffalo emerge like mobile fortresses, moving powerfully across the arid grasslands. However, in this world, survival depends not just on physical strength, but on survival strategies honed over millions of years of evolution. The greatest strength of the African buffalo lies not in the individual, but in the unity of the herd. A single herd can range from a few dozen to several hundred individuals, and this cohesion is their most formidable weapon. During the dry season, herds often gather around scarce water sources, places where life and death are decided in fleeting moments. Confrontations between African buffalo and lions are among nature's most dramatic spectacles. However, their success rate rarely exceeds 30%, as the buffalo responds with speed and aggression. A charge from a full-grown buffalo can be powerful enough to injure or even incapacitate an inexperienced lion. Despite being herbivores, African buffalo play an indispensable role in the Serengeti ecosystem. Their dung enriches the soil, promoting plant growth after the rains. From the Serengeti, we journey further southeast and stop in the land of Tarangire. The scorching heat of the dry season in Tarangire is causing the waterholes to gradually shrink. This place is not just a refuge for survival, but also a source of life for countless other species. Here, the hippopotamus's role extends beyond mere endurance. They do not just exist, they rejuvenate life, maintaining the pulse of aquatic ecosystems. Their thick yet sensitive skin requires constant immersion to prevent dehydration and overheating. In Tarangire, the dry season pushes these adaptations to their limit. In the shrinking water holes, hippos do more than just survive. They maintain complex social structures. As temperatures soar, they huddle together in the water, using their massive bodies to stir up mud and create natural shade for themselves and other creatures. At night, they leave the water, traveling up to 3 miles overland to graze. Hippos sustain aquatic ecosystems, not just by grazing, but also through their waste. Despite their immense size and often placid demeanor, hippos are far from defenseless. When threatened, a hippo can launch itself from the water with astonishing speed, reaching up to 20 miles per hour on land. The dry season in Tarangire becomes a great gathering point as thousands of animals from distant lands flock here. Over millennia, elephants have evolved to become one of the largest land animals, weighing from 13,000 to 20,000 pounds. Their large ears act as natural cooling systems, while their extraordinary memory allows them to recall migration routes. In Tarangire, where even the last drops of water become priceless, the intelligence and cohesion of elephant herds are more than just survival tactics. Under the guidance of the matriarch, the oldest and most experienced female, the herd travels dozens of miles each day, crossing arid lands to find water and food. When the Tarangire River narrows to a sandy bed, savanna elephants use their long tusks to dig deep into the earth, creating small water holes. With a dexterous trunk capable of lifting up to 770 pounds, the elephant carefully draws water. An adult elephant consumes about 300 pounds of vegetation daily, including grass, leaves, and bark. While feeding, they move and leave behind dung. Elephants clear pathways and disperse seeds throughout the areas they traverse. Savanna elephants are not just great consumers, they are tireless gardeners of the ecosystem, maintaining biodiversity. Though they are giants who rule the land, savanna elephants are not immune to their greatest threat: humans. Habitat loss and poaching have pushed them onto the IUCN's vulnerable list. Each individual that falls is not just a loss, but a rupture in the ecological web they have so diligently woven. Under the scorching sun of the Tarangire dry season, where every drop of water is as precious as gold, herds of savanna elephants cross the cracked earth, embodying the strength and resilience of nature. Tarangire is not only home to large mammals, but also a sanctuary for over 550 bird species, including the world's largest bird, the ostrich. Standing up to 9 feet tall and weighing around 300 pounds, the Maasai ostrich strides across the savannah like a perfect survival machine. Their long, powerful legs have become their primary survival tool, allowing them to reach speeds of up to 43 miles per hour. In Tarangire, the dry season is the ultimate test for every living creature. However, the Maasai ostrich displays extraordinary survival skills under these conditions. They can digest tough and thorny vegetation, exploiting food sources inaccessible to many other animals. Remarkably, ostriches can endure long periods without drinking water directly, obtaining moisture from their food or producing it through metabolic processes. With eyes 2 inches in diameter, the largest of any bird, the Maasai ostrich possesses exceptional vision. If the ostrich is the largest bird in the world, then the Kori bustard holds the title of the heaviest flying bird. Weighing up to 40 pounds, with a wingspan reaching 9 feet. The evolutionary history of the Kori bustard spans millions of years, originating from ancient birds that chose a life on the ground over soaring through the skies. Their long, strong legs are built for covering great distances. Although they are capable of flight, they use it only as a last resort, as their large wings require significant energy to lift their heavy bodies. In the challenging environment of Tarangire, where food and water are scarce, the cory bustard demonstrates incredible adaptability. Despite their large size, cory bustards are not entirely safe from larger predators. However, they employ several effective defense strategies. When they feel threatened, they often stand perfectly still. The cory bustard's role in the Tarangire ecosystem extends beyond mere survival. By preying on large insects and small reptiles, they help control populations that could alter the ecological balance during the dry season. In the dim light of a Tarangire dawn, the booming call of the southern ground hornbill echoes across the dry grasslands. Instead of soaring through the skies, these birds claim the ground as their territory. With legs up to 20 inches long, they stride across the savanna where life and death are constant companions. According to the IUCN, they are now classified as vulnerable. A clear warning of the uncertain future for this iconic species. After enduring the relentless drought and the rigors of the dry season, the wild inhabitants finally welcome the first rains. The precious drops of rain gradually spread a carpet of green across the vast plains of the Serengeti, the woodlands of Tarangire, and the wetlands of Ruaha. This transformation is not just a change in the landscape, It is a trumpet call that awakens and energizes the entire ecosystem. As the first seasonal rains sweep across northern Tanzania, Lake Manyara awakens like a repolished natural gem. In the pale light of dawn over Lake Manyara, dewdrops glisten on the fresh green grass, forming a mirror that reflects the misty sky. Striding gracefully through this serene landscape is the grey-crowned crane, a symbol of elegance and resilience in East African nature. As the rainy season brings life to the marshes surrounding Lake Manyara, the entire ecosystem is revitalized. It is then that the grey-crowned crane shines brightest, performing its elegant courtship dances on the vibrant green meadows. Their calls, audible from over 1.8 miles away, act as invitations and signals across the vast savanna. In the rich wetlands and grasslands around Lake Manyara, the grey-crowned crane finds an abundance of food. This adaptive feeding behavior allows them to thrive in the dynamic conditions of the rainy season. Amid the vibrant energy of the Great Migration, where herds of wildebeest, zebras, and Thompson's gazelles flow like a living river, the African wild dog emerges as a silent warrior of nature. Without the massive build of a lion or the relentless stamina of a hyena, They are a symbol of perfect cooperation and masterful hunting strategies. As one of Africa's oldest predators, the African wild dog has evolved over millions of years to become a highly skilled hunter. Their unique genetic makeup distinguishes them from other members of the dog family, with only 4 toes on each foot. Their colorful coats with striking patterns of black, yellow, and white not only make them stand out but also help pack members recognize one another. While the rainy season brings new life to the Serengeti plains, it also presents significant challenges. The presence of lions and hyenas forces wild dog packs to be constantly on the move, seeking areas with less competition. Despite this, the vast plains remain the main stage for their remarkable hunting strategies. These overwhelmingly powerful hunters not only steal their prey, but may also harm any wild dog they catch. African wild dogs act as natural regulators. They help control populations of smaller herbivores. Additionally, their hunting behavior forces prey herds to move constantly, dispersing grazing pressure over a wider area. However, the story of the African wild dog is not without its challenges. According to the IUCN, they are now listed as endangered. In the vast expanse of Ruaha National Park, the eastern black rhinoceros is a symbol of strength and resilience. With its massive body, thick, armor-like skin, and majestic horns up to 3 feet long, the black rhino embodies perseverance. This species has undergone millions of years of adaptation to Africa's harsh environments. According to the latest data from 2023, the global black rhino population is around 5,000 individuals, with the eastern black rhino making up only a small fraction. Once common across eastern and southern Africa, this subspecies now exists only in small, protected populations. With a naturally prehensile upper lip, the eastern black rhino skillfully grasps shoots and young leaves. The trails they create through dense vegetation not only provide pathways for other animals, even in death, their carcasses provide essential nutrients for scavengers. Under the vast Tanzanian sky, the endless plains of the Serengeti meet the lush slopes of the Ngorongoro crater, creating an impressive natural masterpiece. However, this majestic landscape faces the most serious challenges in its history. Climate change, illegal poaching, and the encroachment of agricultural development are gradually eroding the pristine beauty of this land. Climate change, with its increasingly evident signs, is reshaping the natural rhythms that define this landscape. The rains no longer arrive on schedule, the dry seasons last longer, and small rivers are gradually drying up. In the Serengeti, where millions of wildebeest and zebra undertake the Great Migration, the scarcity of water and arid grasslands have reduced survival rates. The prolonged dry season challenges herbivores and places apex predators like lions and cheetahs in desperate situations. At the same time, illegal poaching remains an open wound on Tanzania's natural landscape. African elephants and black rhinos, symbols of majesty and resilience, continue to be the primary targets of poachers. These losses not only reduce population numbers, but also leave deep voids in the ecosystem. The threats to Tanzania's wildlife extend beyond poaching. Agricultural expansion, driven by a population exceeding 65 million people. According to a 2024 report by Global Forest Watch, over 1.1 million acres were being lost annually. In Tarangire National Park, natural grasslands are being fragmented by crop farms and irrigation channels. Such conflicts highlight the urgent need for sustainable land use planning. Tanzania, with its unparalleled richness, is a symphony of life. In the face of these challenges, conservation efforts are fighting to restore balance. Meanwhile, innovative approaches like beehive fencing systems are working in harmony with nature. In Zanzibar, restored mangrove forests not only protect the coastline but also provide shelter for species like the hermit crab. Above all, educational programs are planting the seeds of awareness in the hearts of younger generations. With resilience and a commitment to conservation, Tanzania continues to be a global symbol of hope and dedication. Every individual can contribute by supporting conservation organizations, reducing the use of wildlife products, and spreading awareness through education. Under the scorching sun, the ostrich strides confidently among the remaining waterholes. Though flightless, this extraordinary bird is perfectly adapted to the semi-desert landscape. Equipped with long legs and a formidable speed, the ostrich stands up to 9.2 feet tall. When threatened, a powerful kick from its muscular legs can deliver a serious blow. However, their greatest defense lies in their speed. Capable of sprinting up to 43 miles an hour, ostriches are the true long-distance runners of the savannah. In the dry season, they travel in groups of 5 to over 50, moving together between water sources in search of food and drink. As omnivores, their diet is varied. When water is scarce, they switch to a diet of moisture-rich plants, able to go for long periods without drinking. At Ocauquejo, the ostriches gather with other herbivores. It is the epicenter of a silent struggle for survival, with predators never far away. In this high-risk environment, ostriches are equipped with the largest eyes of any land animal, measuring up to 2 inches in diameter. allowing them to detect subtle movements at great distances. During the breeding season, their behavior becomes more animated. The male performs his characteristic courtship display, shaking his head, extending his neck, and kicking up clouds of dust. A single nest can contain up to 60 eggs, each weighing about 3 pounds. In the harsh conditions of Etosha, these eggs become an attractive target for many predators. Both the male and female take turns protecting the nest, enduring ground temperatures that can exceed 122 degrees Fahrenheit. The waterhole at Halali sustains a remarkable diversity of wildlife. Its dense vegetation and rugged terrain create an ideal backdrop for nocturnal predators. In this breathtaking silence, the leopard emerges, a master predator cloaked in the mantle of darkness. It moves like a whisper, its eyes locked on the slightest movement. What follows is not a chase, but a confrontation, a silent battle between instinct and survival. With males weighing from 66 to 159 pounds and females from 44 to 95 pounds, the leopard has a perfect balance of strength and agility. Their coat provides almost perfect camouflage. Under the dappled moonlight, they disappear into their surroundings, like phantoms in the dark. Leopards can live up to 17 years in the wild. In Etosha alone, their population density ranges from 0.5 to 3.8 individuals per 38.6 square miles. Solitary and primarily nocturnal, the leopard relies on ambush tactics. Instead of chasing its prey, it watches and waits, sometimes for hours. After a successful hunt, it climbs, hauling its prey high into the branches, sometimes up to 20 feet off the ground, to keep it out of reach of scavengers. The arid ground of Ococquejo trembles under the heavy footfalls of a herd of blue wildebeest. Standing about 4 feet tall and weighing an average of 440 pounds, they possess a strong, muscular build. Despite their bulky frame, the blue wildebeest is surprisingly agile. When threatened, they can reach speeds of up to 50 miles an hour. As specialized grazers, they primarily feed on the short grasses that grow quickly after the rains. Their digestive system is fine-tuned to extract nutrients from low-quality vegetation. At Ococquejo, the man-made waterholes provide vital lifelines during the harsh months. They often gather here in the early morning or late afternoon. By grazing regularly, the wildebeest prevent the vegetation from becoming too dense. Their feeding habits encourage the growth of new plants. Migration is one of their most important behaviors. However, this instinct is increasingly being disrupted. Man-made barriers have fragmented their habitats. A study in early 2024 warned that herds confined to smaller areas are showing signs of genetic decline. A serious threat to the species' adaptability. The sun explodes on the horizon, burning the sky with streaks of crimson and gold. Each dawn and dusk marks a battlefield where life and death perform their ceaseless dance. The land itself is a formidable opponent, but even greater dangers lurk where the migration must pass. Rivers like the Mara are not just obstacles, they are gates of death. Beneath the muddy surface, 12-foot Nile crocodiles lie in wait. With a single explosive lunge, they clamp down on their prey, dragging their victim to a watery grave. However, survival does not guarantee safety. Beyond the riverbanks, the dry grasslands stretch endlessly. An open stage where the predators reign. Lions, hyenas, and cheetahs haunt the savanna. In this battle for survival, weakness is a death sentence. Only the swift, the resilient, and the cunning can find their way through. Speed in this arena is salvation. On the open plains, where there is nowhere to hide, prey must rely on agility, reflexes, and strategy. The Thompson's gazelle, small but swift, is one of the most talented artists. When danger strikes, they dart away like living arrows, reaching speeds of 50 to 55 miles per hour. But speed is not their only weapon. They run in unpredictable zigzags, making it a struggle for even the fastest predators to keep up. Meanwhile, the zebra has perfected the art of survival. Speed is their greatest weapon. When faced with danger, they explode into spectacular sprints, reaching speeds of up to 40 miles an hour. On the savanna, lions and cheetahs lurk in the tall grass. But the zebra is not defenseless. Its keen eyesight scans the horizon, while its powerful legs are always ready to react. However, escaping danger is not just about speed, it's about strategy. The zebra has mastered the art of sudden directional changes, disrupting the predator's pursuit. A 2023 study by the Savannah Wildlife Institute found that these abrupt maneuvers can reduce a lion's hunting success rate by up to 70%. But speed alone is not enough. Endurance is the real weapon. Unlike the cheetah, the zebra possesses considerable stamina, capable of maintaining its pace over a long distance. As the sun reaches its zenith, survival on the savannah shifts from speed to endurance. Among the most resilient creatures is the wildebeest. For hundreds of thousands of years, they have evolved into the marathon runners of the wild. Their legendary stamina fuels one of nature's greatest spectacles, the Great Migration. Each year, over 1 million wildebeest embark on a perilous 1,800-mile journey in search of water and fresh pastures. This relentless migration leads them across burning plains, treacherous rivers full of crocodiles, and open terrain where lions and other predators lie in wait. But the wildebeest are more than just wanderers. They are survivors. Their true strength lies in their endurance and their herd instinct. While a cheetah can only maintain its top speed for a few hundred yards, a wildebeest can sustain a steady pace of 30 to 40 miles an hour for many miles. The longer the chase, the more the advantage shifts in their favor. Endurance is their greatest defense, but unity is their shield. The dry season on the African savanna descends like a relentless furnace. In this harsh landscape, survival is not about speed, it's about endurance. Among the masters of persistence is the Grevy's zebra, the largest of all zebra species. Its bold black and white stripes stand out against the sun-scorched plains. Unlike other grazers, the Grevy's zebra endures the heat by outlasting it. They travel over 20 miles a day in search of water. With a phenomenal memory, they retrace hidden paths to long-forgotten waterholes, a skill honed through generations of survival. But memory alone is not enough. Nature has equipped them with a highly efficient circulatory system that acts as a built-in cooling mechanism. However, the journey to water is fraught with danger. Lions and hyenas lurk near the remaining water sources, knowing that thirst will drive their prey within reach. They use the shade of acacia trees to cool their bodies and conserve energy, timing their movements to avoid the most dangerous hours. The African savanna smolders under the relentless fire of the Sunday. As the dry season drags on, every drop of water becomes a prize worth fighting for. Among the most formidable warriors of the savanna is the African buffalo, a living fortress of muscle and fury. Weighing up to 2,000 pounds, they are relentless fighters. A charge from an African buffalo is not a panicked flight, but a calculated attack. Their curved horns are weapons of war, capable of breaking bone. The predators that dare to challenge them face not only brute force, but a deadly strategy. A buffalo's charge can generate an impact force more than 3 times greater than a lion's bite. But it is not just brute strength that makes the African buffalo so dangerous. It is its intelligence and a formidable memory. They are known to remember and recognize specific enemies. Researchers and guides have documented numerous cases of buffalo showing particular animosity towards lions or safari vehicles that have previously harassed them. A failed hunt today could bring a fierce retaliation tomorrow, as they actively return to attack a threat they have identified. A failed hunt today could bring a fierce retaliation tomorrow. The cheetah, the fastest cat on the planet, is a hunting machine shaped by the constant pressure of survival. Amidst the open plains of the savanna, it relies on a slender body, light muscles, and large lung capacity to reach speeds exceeding 60 miles per hour in just a few seconds. This explosive acceleration is not merely a spectacular display, it is the difference between catching prey and the hunger that threatens its entire family. Its eyes, adapted for long-distance vision in daylight, lock onto a target with almost mathematical precision. They are the markings of a specialist, the lines of focus in a world of blinding light. Not tears of sorrow, but channels of concentration, ensuring that when the moment comes, the hunter's gaze is unwavering and its aim is true. These are not for decoration. They function like natural sunglasses, absorbing sunlight and reducing glare. This allows it to maintain intense focus on moving prey without being blinded, a crucial advantage when hunting during the day. A time when most other large cats are resting. But speed comes at a price. After a chase, the cheetah is exhausted, vulnerable to stronger predators that can steal its hard-won prize. In the hunt, every movement is calculated. The cheetah selects young, weak, or unwary prey, exploiting any weakness in the cohesion of gazelle and impala herds. It moves stealthily, using the sparse savanna vegetation as cover. Once at an ideal distance, usually under 300 feet, the cheetah launches into an explosive sprint. The chase is a frantic dash, typically lasting only 20 to 60 seconds. If it fails to catch its quarry in this brief window, the cheetah's body will overheat and the hunt is lost. When successful, a fatal bite to the throat suffocates the prey, ending the struggle in seconds. However, victory does not guarantee a meal. The cheetah must devour its kill quickly before lions, hyenas, or even flocks of vultures detect the carcass and close in. The contest for food is a constant part of its reality. The species' survival also depends on reproduction. The female raises her cubs alone, protecting them in hidden lairs and moving them frequently to avoid being tracked. However, the mortality rate for cubs is very high. Lions, jackals, and birds of prey are constant threats to the defenseless young. The cheetah is both an example of supreme specialization and a testament to biological fragility. While the cheetah relies on speed in the open plains, in the wooded savanna, sheer power and cooperation reign supreme. On the bank, in the shade of the sparse trees, a herd of impala is grazing. Their slender bodies gleam a tawny gold in the morning rays. Each Each of their movements is like a delicate brushstroke on the savanna canvas. They make almost no sound, but that silence is fragile. Behind their grace lies constant vigilance. The impala is one of southern Africa's most graceful antelopes. It can leap 30 feet in a single bound and soar up to 10 feet high, as if the air itself lifts it from danger. These spectacular leaps are more than just a means of escape. This is more than an expression of joy. It is a conversation with death itself, a deliberate, defiant message broadcast to unseen eyes, declaring with every impossible leap, "I am vitality, I am speed, a chase would be fruitless." It is a gamble of energy, played out to prevent a gamble of life. Their primary defense is movement, swift, coordinated, and effortless. Nearby, in the dry grass, dark spots flicker. It is the guinea fowl. Like tiny medieval warriors, each seems to wear a helmet, blue-black feathers, dark eyes, a red crest, and white spots on their bodies. Their gait seems comically hurried, but at the slightest rustle, the entire flock freezes instantly, turning to stone. Guinea fowls are the noisy sentinels of the savanna. Their piercing calls alert every creature round to approaching danger. Their role as sentinels extends beyond mere alarms. Guinea fowls are tireless custodians of the savanna, consuming vast quantities of insects and the parasitic ticks that plague large herbivores. This relationship is a perfect example of symbiosis. While the great beasts are cleansed of troublesome parasites, the guinea fowl get an easy and safe meal. They are not just the alarm system, but the sanitation crew of the plains. Sometimes they are the first to spot a leopard in the bush or the approach of an eagle. If the plains zebra confuses the eye with its stripes, there is another creature that can virtually disappear into the landscape simply by remaining still. It is the puff adder, one of Africa's most iconic venomous snakes, a master of ambush. The name puff adder comes from its characteristic defensive behavior. When threatened, it inflates its chest and emits a loud hiss. Its long fangs sink into the target, injecting a venom that causes tissue necrosis, blistering, and even amputation if left untreated. According to the World Health Organization, it remains the snake responsible for the most fatalities in Africa. Even with its potent venom and sophisticated camouflage, the puff adder must yield to this extraordinary bird. It is the secretary bird, a name derived from its resemblance to 19th century secretaries, with its grey plumage and quills behind its ears. Unlike most soaring birds of prey, the secretary bird is a terrestrial hunter. It is famous for its ability to kill snakes, including venomous species like cobras and puff adders. Each kick from its scaly legs has a force 5 times its body weight, delivered in less than 15 milliseconds. Its attacks are not only fast, but also precise, often aimed directly at the head or neck to finish the prey with a single blow. As heavy footsteps sink deep into the earth, the massive silhouette of the African bush elephant appears. With their overwhelming size and strength, they are guests that even the Nile crocodiles prefer to avoid. The African bush elephant is the largest land mammal on the planet. An adult male can stand up to 13 feet tall and weigh over 15,000 pounds. Their large ears, shaped like the African continent itself, constantly flap. Beneath the thick skin is a dense network of blood vessels that helps dissipate heat, like a natural cooling system. Meanwhile, the flexible trunk, with over 40,000 individual muscles, acts as a multi-purpose tool. As the elephant herd approaches the Grumeti River, they face more than just thirst. The river water is often murky and full of dangers. The adult elephants usually pause, observing for a long time before setting foot in the water. The young calves, weak and easily frightened, are surrounded by the larger members, forming a protective circle. Every decision is guided by the memory and experience of the oldest individual, the matriarch. Each day, an adult elephant needs up to 330 pounds of vegetation and over 50 gallons of water. When the grasslands wither, they begin to use their tusks to dig shallow wells, searching for underground water. These long, curved tusks are both a symbol of beauty and a tragedy. They are the reason thousands are poached each year. However, these elephants continue to play an irreplaceable role in the Serengeti ecosystem. They are true ecological engineers. Elephant dung is not just waste. It is a fertile fertilizer that transports seeds far and wide, supporting the regeneration of forests and savannas. After crossing the Grumeti River, the wildebeest herd continues its search for new pastures. But now, they must face a species that knows how to use the power of the collective even better. It is the African wild dog. At first glance, they look like living works of art. A coat of mottled black, white, yellow, and brown. But this beauty is not just for show. In the field, each individual's unique pattern acts as camouflage. However, what makes their hunts so deadly is not just their appearance. Long, muscular legs with only 4 toes and no dew claw. An evolutionary adaptation to reduce friction and save energy for long-distance chases. Large, rounded ears, like radar antennae, can move independently, picking up sounds from miles away. And then the hunt begins. A small group breaks away, selecting a target. They start by maintaining a steady pace of about 6 miles per hour, pushing the prey to its limit of exhaustion. While the prey tries to escape, other members of the pack take turns closing in, maintaining constant pressure. The moment the prey loses its rhythm for just a second, the entire pack accelerates to over 40 miles per hour, tightening the circle. Each individual executes its role precisely in a strategy refined over millions of years of evolution. According to data from the Wildlife Conservation Society, the success rate of African wild dog hunts ranges from 70 to 90%. This is the highest rate among all carnivores, achieved not through strength, but through perfect coordination. When the wild dog pack has had its fill, they leave, leaving behind scraps of meat and bone. Seizing the opportunity, birds in black cloaks descend. It is the marabou stork, a bird nicknamed the Undertaker bird. This nickname comes not only from its gloomy appearance, but also from its special ecological role as a natural cleanup expert. Its head and neck are completely bare, making it easy to clean after delving deep into a decaying carcass. If this area were feathered, bacteria and bodily fluids would accumulate, causing serious infections. The marabou stork is one of the largest terrestrial flying birds. It can stand up to 5 feet tall, with an impressive wingspan that can exceed 10 feet. Despite its massive stature, its weight is optimized by the hollow bone structure in its legs and toes. In the air, they can soar at altitudes above 14,800 feet, saving energy while patrolling for carcasses. They often accompany vultures as a specialized cleanup crew. While vultures use their hooked beaks to tear through thick skin, the marabou's long, thick, wedge-shaped beak can penetrate crevices to retrieve meat from deep inside. At the end of June, as the wildebeest journey continues further north, the air also becomes drier and clearer each day. The terrain in the north is slightly undulating and open, with vegetation consisting of sparse woodlands, creating an ideal environment for predators. The migrating caravan, with over 2 million wildebeest, includes not only wildebeest and zebras. A smaller antelope species travels with them, an attractive target for hungry cheetahs. It is the Thompson's gazelle. In a world where life depends on speed and cunning, the Thompson's gazelle embodies gentleness amidst the brutality of the savannah. With the ability to run up to 56 miles per hour and the skill to change direction abruptly, it forces predators like the cheetah to calculate every move precisely. When it feels threatened, the Thompson's gazelle leaps into the air with all 4 feet, a behavior known as stotting, which serves both as a warning and a display of physical fitness. It does not lead the migration. It prefers to move on the fringes or at the rear of the herd, not out of weakness, but out of intelligence. By doing so, it attracts less attention, saves energy, and still benefits from the path cleared by the larger groups. Small, but by no means insignificant, the Thompson's gazelle is an essential part of the ecological chain. The land once covered by forest is losing its green color silently but irreversibly. The low forests that grew on limestone soil are now fragmented, leaving only solitary strips of trees. Roads have been opened through the forest, routes for trucks, tractors, and power lines. And these very roads have severed the ecological corridors. The air is still sweltering every summer, but now the heat comes not only from the sun but also from the fires set by humans for land clearing. Forest fires are no longer natural accidents. They are the direct consequence of uncontrolled agricultural activities. Even when it rains, the erratic downpours caused by climate change do not help much. They fall fast and hard, eroding the soil and washing away the nutrient layer. The streams that once flowed through the forest during the rainy season no longer run year-round. Every tree cut down, every stream that runs dry, is not just an ecological loss but also a spiritual wound. And in that seemingly desperate context, the first green seeds are still being planted. In Los Quebraquitos, an area that had been invaded by the exotic privet species, thousands of native trees have been replanted. This is not just a reforestation effort, but a process to restore the entire damaged ecological structure. At the same time, models for monitoring forest dynamics using satellite imagery around the Chankani Provincial Reserve are being implemented. Along the slopes and foothills, ecological corridors are beginning to be reconnected, opening up opportunities for recovery. The Chaco Serrano still has hope if every small action is carried out with heart. Protecting a forest is not just about preserving trees or wildlife, but about preserving the very future of life. Some 1.5 million wildebeest, 250,000 zebra, and countless Thomson's gazelles embark on an extraordinary journey, the greatest migration on Earth. They travel nearly 2,000 miles across a perilous landscape of cracked savannas, treacherous rivers, and steep escarpments. Every step forward is a battle against nature itself. Crocodiles wait in the murky waters. Predators stalk the tall grasses. Yet, despite the dangers, the herds press on. Ahead lies the Masai Mara, where green pastures promise renewal. This is one of the great spectacles of the earth. A perfect rhythm of life, woven by the hand of creation. In this perpetual cycle, the wildebeest, zebra, and gazelle sustain a kingdom of predators. They feed the 3,000 to 4,000 lions that dominate the Serengeti Mara ecosystem. Each year, as many as 250,000 wildebeest and 60,000 zebra are killed by lions, while exhaustion, disease, and drowning claim thousands more. The lion, second in size only to the Siberian tiger, is Africa's most formidable predator. But even the so-called king does not hunt alone. The lion relies on teamwork. A pride, typically of 10 to 15, moves with calculated precision. The lionesses lead the hunt. Agile, intelligent, and strategic, they target the weak, the young, or the isolated. The males, their golden manes burning in the sun, serve a different purpose. The protectors of the pride. Their thunderous roars can carry for 5 miles, warning rivals to stay clear. But even kings have rivals, and for the lion, none is more formidable than the spotted hyena. Often misunderstood as mere scavengers, hyenas are, in fact, masterful hunters, responsible for 60 to 75% of their own kills. With remarkable coordination, they can bring down prey many times their own size. According to a 2024 report from Serengeti National Park, hyenas and other predators account for about 1/4 of all wildebeest deaths during the migration. Their most powerful weapon is their jaw. The strongest of any land carnivore, generating a crushing force of nearly 1,100 pounds per square inch, almost double the bite force of a male lion. But hyenas are not just hunters. They are nature's cleanup crew, consuming carcasses before disease can spread. Above these plains, another world stirs. Life thrives not only on the ground, but also in the sky. Over 500 species of birds soar across the Serengeti. Each plays a unique role in the tapestry of this vast ecosystem. Among them, one silhouette stands out, the marabou stork, large, silent, and unmistakable. With a wingspan of nearly 10 feet, it is the largest land bird in Africa. A fitting title for a creature cloaked in black and white, with pale legs and a hunched posture. But its role is far from grim. It is nature's sanitation squad. The marabou stork gathers near wetlands, grasslands, and the carcasses of hunts, feeding on what others leave behind. The Serengeti is but one chapter in the greater story of the tropical savanna. Within this vast landscape lies another wonder, the central Zambesian Miombo woodlands. Stretching across Zambia, Zimbabwe, Angola, and Mozambique, it forms one of the largest and most diverse ecosystems in southern Africa. Here, giant hardwoods, Brachystegia and Julbernardia reach for the sky. Their broad canopies shelter thousands of species that live in their shade. Beneath them, resilient grasses and shrubs endure long, hot, dry seasons and sudden, torrential rains. In the open woodlands of the Miombo, a giant figure moves among the trees. The African savanna elephant, a gentle giant, roams the vast plains. They are the largest land animals on Earth. Some stand over 13 feet tall and weigh more than 7 tons. But beyond their immense size, these elephants are the silent architects of the wild. Their presence brings life to the savanna, yet even giants face peril. Since 2021, the African savanna elephant has been listed as an endangered species. However, there is hope. Conservation efforts across the Miombo have begun to turn the tide. According to a 2023 WWF report, some 50,000 elephants now roam the wilds of Zambia and Zimbabwe. The forests and grasslands of the Miombo are also home to one of Africa's most skillful predators, the African wild dog. The master hunters of the savannah. With a hunting success rate of up to 80%, they outperform both lions and hyenas. For them, each hunt is more than a mere chase. It is a flawless display of coordination and intelligence. The pack numbers from 10 to 40 individuals. Each plays a specific role in the hunt. Together, they exhaust their prey, bringing down animals many times their own size. However, their impact extends far beyond the hunt. By controlling herbivore populations, wild dogs protect the vegetation and help maintain the delicate balance of the savanna ecosystem. But the survival of these hunters is by no means guaranteed. Diseases from domestic animals, loss of genetic diversity, and human persecution have pushed their numbers to dangerous lows. Today, only about 6,000 remain across Africa, with just 500 to 600 surviving in the Miombo, according to a 2023 IUCN report. Leaving behind the dry forests and golden plains of the Miombo, the journey moves west to a land where forest and savanna meet in harmony. This is the Ghanaian forest-savanna mosaic. It stretches across Guinea, Sierra Leone, Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Togo. As the dry season grips the land, the roan antelope begins its arduous journey for survival. As of 2024, their population here is estimated at around 8,000. With their pale brown coats and long, curved horns, they create elegant silhouettes against the hot, glowing sky. The adaptability of this antelope is remarkable. It feeds on a wide variety of grasses and shrubs, even those that most other animals refuse to touch. A born opportunist, the leopard's menu is as varied as the landscape itself. Antelopes, primates, and birds are all within its sights. Each hunt is a blend of patience and precision. With an explosive burst of speed up to 35 miles per hour, it lunges forward, its jaws locking around the victim's neck in a swift, decisive takedown. But even this master of stealth faces growing danger. According to a 2023 Panthera report, only about 2,500 leopards remain across the Guinean forest savanna mosaic. Among these survivors is one of Africa's rarest icons, the Grevy's zebra, a symbol of vitality in the most arid lands. With only about 2,800 individuals remaining as of 2023, according to the Grevy's Zebra Trust, it is now the rarest zebra on Earth. Its sleek black and white stripes are narrower than its cousins, and its large, rounded ears are fine-tuned for the heat, improving hearing while helping to cool the body. The Grevy's zebra has mastered the art of scarcity. They can survive for days without drinking, drawing moisture from dry grasses and traveling great distances to hidden water holes. Amidst the arid bushlands, where the earth cracks under temperatures near 104 degrees Fahrenheit, a small bat-eared fox quietly exists. Its oversized ears stand erect like living antennae, searching for the faintest whispers beneath the ground. They pick up the sound of burrowing termites, of moving ants. When the sun finally dips below the horizon, the bat-eared fox awakens. It hunts by sound alone, feeding primarily on termites, which make up nearly 80% of its diet. In this same rugged landscape, another nocturnal figure moves, the striped hyena. A silent wanderer. With its pale grey striped coat and powerful forelegs, it moves over the rocky ground and thorny bushes as if sculpted from the terrain itself. When food becomes scarce and water disappears, the struggle for survival intensifies. Here, every drop of water is precious. Amidst the scattered bushes and sun-scorched grasses, where the earth is cracked with thirst, an elegant and resilient creature stands its ground, the gerenuk. Unlike other grazers, the gerenuk can stand on its hind legs, reaching nearly 6.5 feet high to pluck leaves far beyond the reach of its competitors. Its body regulates its metabolism, conserves heat, and saves energy with incredible precision. Under the same unforgiving sun, another antelope endures. The East African oryx. Larger, stronger, and more defiant, it stands like a sentinel of the desert. It can survive for weeks, even months, without a single drop of water. It feeds mostly after dark, minimizing water loss through respiration and sweat. According to a 2023 report by the United Nations Environment Programme, this remarkable animal can even draw moisture from dry leaves. Unlike many animals that seek shade, the oryx possesses a rare gift. The power to self-regulate its body temperature. What makes the oryx a true icon of resilience is not just its endurance, but its courage. When threatened by predators like lions or cheetahs, it does not flee. It stands and fights. Its horns, nearly 33 inches long, are lethal weapons capable of piercing a predator's hide. The Somali Comifora region is not just a sanctuary for ungulates. It is a stronghold for some of the largest birds on Earth. Among them, two iconic residents stand tall. The common and the Somali ostrich, shaping the rhythm of life across this sun-baked savanna. Reaching heights of up to 9 feet and weighing around 340 pounds, the ostrich is the largest living bird today. According to a 2023 study by the United Nations Environment Programme, ostriches can survive for several days without drinking water. Their bodies are masterpieces of desert engineering, minimizing water loss through respiration and excretion. Although flightless, ostriches have unparalleled speed, capable of reaching 40 miles per hour and sustaining a pace of 35 miles per hour over long distances. Surrounding Lake Victoria, the Victoria Basin forest-savanna mosaic forms a vast natural Noah's Ark. This is the largest freshwater lake in Africa, a source of life for millions of creatures. From migratory birds to the people who live along its shores. The climate is cyclical, with short rains followed by long, drawn-out dry seasons. And in this fragile balance is the last refuge of a vanishing giant, the Rothschild's giraffe. As of 2024, according to the Giraffe Conservation Foundation, only about 800 individuals remain in the wild. Their pale cream coats are dotted with dark brown patches that stop at their legs, distinguishing them from all other giraffe species. Atop their heads are 5 ossicones. Small, horn-like structures that are rare even among giraffes. A silent crown for one of Africa's most graceful survivors. More than just a towering silhouette on the grasslands, the Rothschild's giraffe is the silent gardener of the savannah. That light awakens life. Grasses and understory plants in turn feed countless species. Its value extends beyond ecology. It is a bridge between humans and the wild. These gentle giants attract tourists from around the world, fostering ecotourism that provides livelihoods for local communities. On the vast savannas of the Victoria Basin, the topy antelope moves like a warrior born of the grasslands. Its reddish-brown coat is interspersed with dark patches along its legs and face. A master of camouflage, built for speed, the topy can sprint up to 43 miles per hour. Its long legs carry it beyond predators like lions and cheetahs. But during the breeding or migratory season, these herds swell to hundreds, moving as a single, vigilant, and united mass. In this unforgiving world, a giant stands its ground, the white rhinoceros. The largest of the rhinos, reaching 13 feet in length and weighing up to 2.5 tons. Second only to the elephant, it is one of Earth's greatest land giants. Its defining feature, a thick, curved pair of horns, made of keratin, is both its weapon and its curse. A male's front horn can grow up to 5 feet long and weigh nearly 9 pounds. But that beauty has made it a prime target for poachers. At the end of the 19th century, only 20 white rhinos remained in the wild. However, through more than a century of tireless conservation, their numbers have recovered to nearly 18,000 by 2023. The white rhino's wide, square mouth is a perfect natural design for grazing. Each day, it consumes up to 260 pounds of grass. By clearing paths for light and space, these giants create room for other plants and animals to thrive. Most of the remaining white rhinos now roam in protected reserves like Kruger and Kagalagadi. But the rhino's story is not just one of survival against nature. It is also a fight against humanity. According to the Save the Rhino Foundation, in 2022, more than 450 individuals were killed in a single year. On the vast grasslands of southern Africa, another icon of the savanna endures, the plains zebra. An essential thread in nature's grand design, it plays a vital role in keeping these ecosystems vibrant and balanced. Its black and white stripes are a masterpiece of natural art. Each pattern is as unique as a fingerprint. In large herds, those stripes merge into a shimmering illusion. As of 2023, some 300,000 plains zebra roam the plains of southern Africa. Each consumes about 30 pounds of grass daily. Thanks to their ability to digest coarse, fibrous plants, they control invasive grasses and make way for new life to sprout. The blue wildebeest, famous for its epic migrations across East Africa, is just as prolific in the south. By 2023, nearly 1.2 million of them roamed the temperate savannas of southern Africa. With its slate-gray coat shimmering with a blue sheen in the sun and its gracefully curved horns sweeping back, the wildebeest is a symbol of resilience. Each wildebeest consumes about 33 pounds of grass daily, preventing overgrowth and renewing the plains with fresh shoots. Alongside them, another giant moves, the eland. Standing nearly 6 feet tall and weighing up to a ton, it is the largest antelope on Earth. Its tan coat and long, spiraled horns over 2 feet long make it both majestic and unmistakable. Despite its immense size, the eland is surprisingly agile, capable of sprinting up to 25 miles per hour to escape predators. In the grand story of the savannah, these giants are not just survivors. They are the keepers of the balance. The eland prefers open grasslands, vast spaces where food is plentiful and movement is free. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, as of 2023, the eland population across Africa remained stable at around 136,000 individuals. Leaving behind the dry grasslands of the temperate savanna, the journey now leads us into a world shaped by water. The flooded savanna. Grasslands and earth disappear under rising floodwaters, giving way to shimmering marshes, temporary lakes, and endless plains. In this ever-changing world, adaptation becomes a way of life, a constant dance between instinct and the transformative forces of nature. This vast wetland, known as the Sud, is home to tens of thousands of hippos. According to the Worldwide Fund for Nature, about 40,000 individuals inhabit these waters, one of the largest hippo populations on Earth. The hippo, the third largest land mammal after the elephant and the white rhino, can weigh up to 3,300 pounds. But hippos are not just aquatic giants. They play a crucial role in shaping both water and land. The Sud is not just a sanctuary for mammals. It is also a refuge for hundreds of migratory bird species. The seasonal rains transform the region into a vibrant corridor, attracting travelers from across the continent. According to BirdLife International, over 400 bird species have been recorded here, including many that are now in global decline. Another prominent resident is the African spoonbill. Found across marshes and shallow lakes, these birds thrive where water is plentiful. With its snow-white plumage and long, flattened bill, the spoonbill hunts not by sight, but by touch. Its bill sweeps rhythmically through the shallow waters. With a wingspan of over 3 feet, they glide effortlessly over the wetlands, moving in graceful flocks that enhance safety and foraging success. Each rainy season, water from upstream floods the grasslands and bush, breathing life back into an ecosystem ready for renewal. Trees, reeds, and aquatic grasses sprout in dense emerald clusters, greening the land. Here, in this kingdom of water and light, one predator reigns supreme. The Nile crocodile, up to 18 feet long and weighing up to 1,650 pounds. Armed with raw muscle, unshakable patience, and a steel-like grip, the Nile crocodile is both feared and respected. When the dry season arrives and the waters recede, the crocodiles retreat into shrinking pools, conserving energy, waiting for the rains to return. However, these ancient reptiles are not just ruthless predators. They are guardians of the balance. Each year, more than 200,000 birds return to the Nile Delta, a crucial stopover for migratory species. Among them, one bird stands out. The greater flamingo, the largest of its family. As temperatures and water levels change in spring and autumn, the flamingos leave the arid lands, journeying to the flooded fields of the Nile Delta. Here, they find safety, abundant food, and a place to raise the next generation. Standing over 4 feet tall, with a wingspan of nearly 5.5 feet, the greater flamingo moves with unparalleled grace. The flamingo's hue, a soft pink born from a diet rich in carotenoid pigments, starts as a pale white and deepens over time. Their migration is more than just survival. It is a ritual of renewal. In great flocks of up to thousands, they protect one another. Once one of the largest lakes on Earth, today the waters of Lake Chad fluctuate between 1,350 and 1,500 square miles, depending on the season. This belt of flooded grassland remains one of the most important ecosystems of the Sahel. The African buffalo roams freely on the flooded grasslands surrounding Lake Chad, an area where green pastures and clear waters merge year-round. According to a 2024 report by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, about 50,000 buffalo inhabit this region. Weighing up to 1,500 pounds and nearly 11 feet long, the African buffalo is a symbol of strength and resilience. When moving together, their numbers can exceed 200, a living wall of muscle and determination. However, even these giants must adapt to the rhythm of the land. As the dry season depletes the wetlands, the herds move, driven by instinct. Beyond sheer power, the buffalo plays a vital role in maintaining the ecological balance around Lake Chad. By grazing on large areas, they prevent overgrowth. In the flooded landscapes of the Zambesian region, another large herbivore dominates the wetlands, the waterbuck. Weighing from 400 to 600 pounds and standing over 3 feet tall, it ranks among the largest antelopes in southern Africa. Dependent on moisture and lush vegetation, they avoid the arid plains, staying close to their environment's lifeblood. When danger strikes, when lions or hyenas close in, the waterbuck plunges into the water. Instantly, the river becomes its shield. And prancing across this watery kingdom, crowned in gold, is one of Africa's most striking birds, the grey-crowned crane. Graceful yet resilient, the crane has mastered the rhythm of the rising and falling waters. Its long legs carry it through the flooded fields. When the rains return, the Zambesian grasslands burst back to life. This is the moment the grey-crowned cranes have been waiting for.